The WNBA is increasingly stirring up debate. On one side, we have Caitlin Clark, a rookie star making waves and leading the Indiana Fever to the playoffs for the first time since 2016. On the other, there's Sheryl Swoopes, a WNBA legend and three-time MVP. What could possibly go wrong? However, Swoopes isn't exactly a fan of Clark. During a recent episode of the Gil's Arena podcast, Swoopes made a bold claim. Despite Clark's impressive stats, she isn't truly dominating the league. It's as if Swoopes doused Clark's fans with a cold reality check. But is Swoopes on point, or are we witnessing the dawn of a new WNBA era that Swoopes might struggle to see? Subscribe now as we delve into this heated debate, exploring what it truly means to dominate in today's WNBA. First, let's examine Caitlin Clark's rookie season stats. They're nothing short of extraordinary. Clark is making waves and setting records like never before. Her performance is jaw-dropping, averaging 19.5 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. And it doesn't stop there. Clark leads the league in assists, boasts 2 triple-doubles, and has set a record for the most double-doubles by a point guard in a single season. On top of that, she's shooting 41.7% from the field, 34.1% from beyond the arc, and an impressive 90.4% from the free throw line. Clark's precision is something even veteran players would admire. But what's truly remarkable is her impact on the Indiana Fever. The team, which started the season with a rough 1-6 record, turned it around and secured a playoff spot. Clark isn't just performing well, she's raising the entire team's game. Paired with Kelsey Mitchell, they form one of the WNBA's deadliest guard duos, with the Fever being the only team boasting 2 players in the top 8 scorers. Now, let's shift our focus to Sheryl Swoopes' career to understand the context of this debate. Swoopes, a 3-time MVP, claimed the award in 2000, 2002, and 2005. During her MVP seasons, she posted impressive averages, ranging from 18.5 to 20.7 points per game. Swoopes averaged 15 points, 4.9 rebounds, and 3.2 assists over 324 games. But here's the key detail. These are her career stats. Clark, on the other hand, is putting up comparable or even better numbers in just her rookie season. It's worth noting that the WNBA has evolved since Swoopes' era. The league today is different, but does that make Clark's achievements any less remarkable? Let's break it down. What does it truly mean to dominate the WNBA? When Swoopes claims Clark isn't dominating, she seems to be measuring by a very specific standard, as she mentioned on the Gil's Arena podcast. Swoopes said, "The only player I would say is dominating the WNBA right now is A'ja Wilson." It's true that Wilson is having an incredible season, setting a single-season scoring record and leading the rebounding charts. But does that mean only one player can dominate at a time? Let's consider what dominance in basketball really means. Impressive individual stats. Clark checks that box. Significant impact on team wins. Clark checks that too. Breaking records? She's doing that as well. Changing how opponents play? Teams are definitely adjusting their strategies to deal with Clark. So, what's missing? Honestly, I'm not sure what else Caitlin needs to do to convince Swoopes. But one thing we can't overlook is the monumental impact Clark has had on the Indiana Fever. It's no exaggeration to say Caitlin Clark has completely transformed the Indiana Fever. Remember how the team started the season with a rough 1-6 record? Many had already written them off, expecting another disappointing year. But then something remarkable happened. Clark didn't just adjust to the WNBA, she elevated the entire team. The Fever literally turned their season around, finishing with a winning record, their first over 50% since 2016. Most importantly, they clinched a playoff spot, something that hadn't happened in 7 long years. Beyond just scoring, Clark displayed incredible maturity, consistently creating opportunities for her teammates on the court. Clark's chemistry with Aaliyah Boston and Alyssa Smith is undeniable, making the Fever look like a completely new team. And here's the kicker. Clark is doing all this as a rookie. Just imagine the team's potential in the coming years as she gains experience, and the roster continues to develop around her. Now, let's dive into how the rest of the WNBA community is responding to the debate between Swoopes and Clark. Surprisingly, this controversy has expanded beyond just these two. Swoopes' comments sparked a strong reaction from fans and analysts on social media. Many rushed to Clark's defense, questioning Swoopes' stance. Some argue that Swoopes may be more resistant to change than offering an objective critique of Clark's game. Interestingly, some Wnba legends have been more open to praising Clark. For instance, Rebecca Lobo, now an ESPN analyst, has been a vocal supporter. Remember her February tweet? She predicted Clark would put up MVP numbers as a rookie if she joined the Fever, and it seems she was right. Even current stars like A'ja Wilson, who Swoopes called the league's only dominant player, have praised Clark for her impact. However, not everyone is on board. Some league veterans, while acknowledging Clark's talent, still argue. Some argue that Clark still needs to prove her consistency over time, which is a valid point. One standout season doesn't define a career. This situation is sparking a broader debate about the WNBA's evolution, highlighting a divide between those who embrace Clark's modern style of long-range shots and flashy passes and those who prefer a more traditional approach. Additionally, there's the issue of media attention. Some feel Clark is getting more spotlight than her current achievements warrant, while others believe she's bringing essential exposure to the league. Looking ahead, what can we expect from Caitlin Clark? As a rookie making waves already, her potential in the next 2, 3, or even 5 years is thrilling to consider. Analysts predict that with more experience and physical development, Clark could continue to make a significant impact and reshape the league. Clark is expected to maintain her current level of play while continuing to improve. Her game is already well-rounded, excelling in scoring and distribution. As she further adapts to the WNBA's pace, we can anticipate gains in shooting efficiency and defense. From the Fever's perspective, Clark is clearly the cornerstone for their future. With her leading the charge, the franchise could become a title contender in the coming years, especially if they successfully develop talents like Aliyah Boston and Lexi Hull. Swoopes' criticisms seem to defend a more traditional view of the game, one that values long-term consistency and impact on both ends of the court. On the flip side, Clark represents a new approach to the game, emphasizing long-range shooting, flashy plays, and a style that resonates in the age of social media and viral highlights. But here's the burning question. Does Clark's success undermine Swoopes' legacy, or do Swoopes' achievements lessen the impact of Clark's accomplishments? The reality is, we don't have to choose sides. Swoopes' legacy is firmly established. She paved the way for players like Clark. Clark's success doesn't diminish Swoopes' achievements. Rather, it highlights how the game Swoopes helped shape continues to evolve. This tension, however, prompts us to confront. This controversy raises broader questions about the sport. How do we balance respect for the past with enthusiasm for the future? How do we define greatness in a sport that's constantly evolving? And perhaps most crucially, what does this debate reveal about the current state of the WNBA? Are we witnessing a pivotal moment where the torch is being passed from one generation to the next? One thing is clear, whether you're on Team Swoopes or Team Clark, both players have had, and continue to have, a transformative impact on women's basketball.